Hey guys, so I was thinking the other day how we all have these big goals. A lot of us want to hit emerald, a lot of us want to hit diamond and ruby and so on. And in order to do that and to really work through getting your volume and increasing income and stuff like that, we need to have working coaches, okay? Um, you have to have an emerald on each leg in order to go ruby plus one coach, and you need to have an emerald on each leg plus three coaches on each side to go diamond. So we can't just have a team full of discount coaches. So it's important to know how to get your coaches started right. So I know you probably heard it a lot that whatever you do, your coaches are going to duplicate. So I wanted to share with you kind of what I do as a getting started right call. Um, it's a lot of having to read the person and understand what it is that they're ready for. Some coaches are really ready to just hit the ground running, like before you even have your getting started right call. They've advertised a challenge group, that kind of thing. And then some coaches are different, and they're kind of, it's taking them a little longer to understand the business. So it's really important to be able to read your coaches. I always, recommend, or I try to do a Zoom call if they don't live here in Vegas, so that they can see my screen, I can see their face, they can see mine, and it's just much more personable that way. And then, of course, if they live in your town, I would really recommend, a meetup at one of your guys' homes, or if you don't know them personally yet, you met them on Instagram or whatever, and they happen to live in your hometown, do like a Starbucks or something like that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen so that you can see what it is that I want you to see. So this Carly Wood shared this picture right here, and I believe Nicole put it into a file in Team FabFit. So the first thing that you really want to do is just kind of get to know your coach and who they are and why they started this journey, and just kind of talk to them and get to know them and laugh, and it doesn't have to be this like super formal I'm your boss type thing, because nobody's our boss in this business. We're our own boss. So at first, it's kind of hard to not kind of go, okay, I was personable, check. All right, I know they're a hobby coach, check. Don't you don't have to do it in this specific order. This is just a general guideline. Okay, so obviously be personable, and then reconfirm what type of coach they are. Personally, if they're discount coaches, I don't do all of this with them. I don't think really anybody does. We typically don't add them into team pages or do anything like that until they decide that they want to work the business. Once they do that, then we go through this whole process. But if they're strictly in it for the discount, they have no desire whatsoever to work the business, then you don't need to do all of this with them. Okay, then so really it's about finding out whether they're hobby or they're all in. So really the difference in this is just how much time and effort are they willing to put into this business. Okay, we know, those of us that are all in coaches, that it can be time consuming, and it's important. And I just watched the video with Joelle Seuss about consistency versus hustle. Right now, I'm working more than I normally would because I'm in a hustle season. I have a goal that I want to be diamond by the end of January. So I'm putting in a ton of effort. I am inviting a bajillion people. I'm digging into personal development. I'm working with my coaches to make sure that we're all moving forward in our business. So right now, I'm working more than maybe I will next month. Next month, I will just continue to be consistent, but I won't be doing 20 hours a week on top of my full-time job. I don't really know that that's how much it is, but it's a lot. It's more than I have in the past. So or are they all in, and that doesn't mean that they've quit their job to do Beachbody. It just means that they're going to plug in to every call. They're going to do every training. They're in Push to Emerald. They're inviting all the time. They're Vital 3. They're doing it consistently. That is an all-in coach. It's not like this is my full-time job. Okay, because I have a full-time job and I consider myself all in. I know Nicole's the same way. So just be sure that you're clear about that versus a hobby coach that's kind of like, yeah, I'm just kind of looking to, maybe make a little extra money or just cover the cost of my Shakeology, something like that. Might be more of a hobby coach. And that's not to say that a hobby coach can't become all in and an all in coach can't become a hobby or even a discount coach. Okay. And then talk about their why. This is really important because it gives you a sense of what is driving them in this business. And it could be, for a lot of people, it is about financial freedom. I know that was one of the main reasons why I started, because I wanted to have a better quality of life after divorce. So that was a big driving factor for me. It was kind of like a 50-50 income versus this kind of desire to help people. So and that's shifted a little bit. And honestly, it kind of shifts back and forth. Right now, I'm like 70% income because I've got a lot of things coming up that I need to be able to pay for. So it shifts back and forth. But what is that underlying reason, that initial reason? They want to be a stay-at-home mom. They want to pay off student loans. They want to quit their job that they're miserable at. What is it? What is that driving factor? Because when you come to a down, and everybody has them, a downtime in your business, you as their coach need to know why they started it so you can remind them and say, hey, you remember when we first started this and your end goal was to quit your job? If you stop posting and you stop being consistent, are you going to be able to reach that goal? No. And so a lot of times when we're in a down, we tend to lose sight of that reason or that long-term goal. And having a coach there to remind you and kind of give you a swift kick in the pants and say, hey, listen, you said that you wanted to achieve this goal. And pull up their vision board that we all posted in FabFit and say, hey, you said that this was your goal for 2016. So let's talk about what it is that you're doing or not doing that's helping you get there or hindering you from getting there. There's nothing wrong with a little tough love. I know that sometimes I need it too. And I need somebody to tell me, hey, quit your moaning. Let's get to work. Let's get this done. Let's get you where you need to go. Okay. So it's really important that your coach is wise, and check in every 3, 4, 5 months and ask them, hey, has your why changed? Because it does change for a lot of people. Okay, this one is super important. So here's why I think if you can get a Zoom call in, that you should. Okay, when you first became a coach, I know when I first became a coach and I got added into Beatnik, FabFit, Nicole's PS coaches, and the training group, it was like onslaught of information, and it took me a second to decipher what each one was. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull up I'm gonna pull up Facebook. Speaking of Nicole, there you are. Hello, Nicole. Hi, Briley. And Kira. So I like to kind of just reaffirm what each of these things are. For me, typically what I do is I have my coaches finish this training before we do a getting started right call. It gives a bit of a sense of urgency, especially if there's somebody that wants to hit Success Starters and wants to hit Success Club in their first month. If it takes them 21 days to get through the training, they're less likely to hit it, especially if they're not running or starting a challenge group at the same time as they're doing the training. So I like to show them okay, when you come to this page and you see this is where you're going to come to do your 21-day training. And Nicole and Brittany did a great job putting this together. So I'd like to show them that. Okay, then I kind of I start with the big umbrella. Okay, here's Beatnik. And I tell them, okay, we've got, 2,000 coaches in here, and people ask questions all the time. I know that sometimes people ask questions that I didn't think to ask, and so when I'm going through my news feed during my power hour, I look specifically into Beatnik, and I see the questions that people have asked, and I see the responses. So that way I've kind of already read it, and it's sitting in the back of my mind. So if I ever have that question, I remember, oh, somebody asked that in Beatnik. But I don't remember the answer, but I can come in here and type in, yeah, that question was about consistency. And somewhere along the way, it's going to pop up. I might have to scroll for a minute, but it will pop up, and I will be able to find the answer to that question instead of having to ask. Then I also show them the files, because this is a humongous, not even a word, resource that a lot of coaches, I think, don't get. We hear all that somebody just posted in Beatnik about a coach that signed their friend up, and then that was it. Just kind of left them to the wind. They gave them no support. They didn't give them anything. So, we run these challenge groups and all this stuff, and it's like, guys, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. If you're doing a 7-day clean eating group, or you want to do a crock pot group or whatever, look, here is a menu that you can do that's specific to a crock pot that Lindsay Elise uploaded, and now I've downloaded it, I save it to my computer, and I have it forever. About a month and a half into my coaching, I sat and I went through this whole set of files in Beatnik, and I did the same thing in FabFit. And I kind of saved the things that I thought were important, things that I could use in the future. And I think that's important to do that, because if you're running a clean eating or a crock pot, or just an accountability group that is not specific to 21 Day Fix or T25 or whatever, it's all done here. It's all done for you. So if you download it, you're going to have to go through it, because if it's talking about, my husband and my 2 daughters, well, I'm not married and I don't have any daughters, people are going to know that you obviously didn't write that. So you will have to go through it, but 90% of it is done for you. So there's no need to reinvent the wheel. So I also like to explain kind of like the hierarchy of all of this, if you will. So Nikki, and I'm just going to stop at Nikki because we can go further than that. But so Nikki is Nicole's coach. That's the big umbrella. That's Beatnik. Okay. And then we have Nicole. So Nicole runs Team FabFit. Okay. And here it's just a smaller page. It's our smaller group of coaches. We also have great files. Some are the same as Beatnik, but a lot of them are different kinds of things and trainings and stuff like that Nicole finds along the way, or that other people find along the way. And it's just a smaller little group of people. It's just like a more tight-knit community. I feel like the people in Team FabFit that are pretty active, a lot of them are my friends on Facebook, and so we interact, and it's more close-knit. Where Beatnik, I know the familiar faces. I don't really know them, but I know their names and stuff, and so that's just the way I look at it. Now, for me personally, because my group of working coaches is growing, what I did this for 2 reasons. Number one, I didn't want anybody to steal the team name that I came up with. So if somebody ever searches it on Facebook, they'll see that Beachbody team exists. You can't take my name. So I made my own team page for my working coaches and their working coaches. Okay. So At this point, I am not putting anything that is in Beatnik or that is in FabFit. There's no need to see the same thing 3 times. So the only thing that I'm doing on this page, and I'm just sharing this with you, if you ever get to this point, this is what I'm doing now. This will change as time goes on. I'll have my own little Team FabFit type of page going, but like right now, I just set a goal for my team for the week. We've all set our individual goals, but a goal you should have is inviting people, so on and so forth. It's just a quick little check-in. There's literally 2 posts in this entire page. So it's just a way to keep us all accountable and keep us working and keep us moving forward in our business. Okay. So whatever groups you're adding your coaches, into, you're going to want to share with them what it is, what their purpose is, who runs them, and who's who. So like for me, it's second nature to just be like, oh yeah, Nikki is Stephanie Chico's coach, and Nikki is Nicole's coach, and Nicole is my coach, and I'm your coach, and there's all these coaches and all these things happening all at once. And it's important for your coaches to know who's who they can turn to, which really is the whole team, and all of that. So, always think back to where you were when you came in. We all came in at different times. So the company doesn't stop. It keeps going, and there's momentum, and you jump on board, and if you're not running with the ship, you're going to fall in the ocean. So set your coaches up to know what's happening now in the business. For example, if they come in now, we're getting ready to do Team Cup. They're going to see all of these Team Cup posts and go, what the heck is Team Cup? I don't know what this is. And that's what happened to me. I signed up in July. We had Team Cup in August. I jumped on board. I don't know what the heck I was doing or what it was for, but I figured it out as time went on and as I talked with Nicole. So just make sure that they know what's happening in the company. Okay. This one is really important. Develop a power hour schedule. Okay. So let me see if I can find this here. It's really important. Of course, I get every text in the world right now. Sorry. It's really important that they I lost my train of thought. That they know what the power hour is and what it's for and what the purpose is. So my gosh, I don't know. I think this is the one I want to show you. Yes. So you only have an hour. There are a lot of people that come into this and don't have 2, 3, 4 hours a day to devote to their business. So you have to break it down for them. It has to be very, very concrete. This particular graphic shows you an hour of work, and that includes your workout, assuming it's a 30-minute workout. Okay. So 30 minutes for your workout, you put the TV on mute and you listen to a training or the National Wake Up Call replays or your training videos or whatever. So you're doing 2 things at once. You're working out and you're doing your PD for that day. So for me personally, where PD goes for new coaches, I always tell my coaches, your PD is your training, your push to Emerald group for the day, your if you're looking things up on YouTube, whatever it is that you are doing to grow your business at that time, and you're learning the business, that is your PD. I did not pick up a PD book until I was 2 months into the business, because I wanted to learn every single thing that I possibly could before I went in and kind of worked on myself. I'm sure there are a bajillion coaches that would disagree with me, and that's fine. It is your personal preference. But for me, personally, it would have been too much to get my training in and learn the business and get my footing and figure out what the heck I was doing and try and read You Are a Badass. I was not in that headspace where I was ready to go there yet. I would have been way too overwhelmed. Okay, so sorry, I just want to close this out. So that's my take on the personal development initially. Okay, that does change. Then 10 minutes, for the next 10 minutes, post your workout, your Shakeology, and your challenge group. Like and comment on challengers' post to Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Something else that I always share with my coaches is Buffer and or Hootsuite. And the fact that I used to plan my post. I have my notebook in here that I would sit every Sunday and I would write down, on Monday, I am posting these 2 things or these 3 things. On Tuesday, I'm posting this. I would schedule ahead of time what I could, and I would show them how to do that with a screen share. And then other things I wouldn't. I couldn't schedule a sweaty selfie because I wasn't sweaty at the time. I'm not going to get sweaty, change my outfit 5 times and take 5 different pictures. So I would schedule it on my planner, and I would set a reminder in my phone for the time that I typically work out, and it would say sweaty selfie, and then I would just post it live. There's a few reasons why that's important. One being that you don't want to come out of the gate and like throw Beachbody at everybody, and every post is Shakeology, and every post is 21 Day Fix, and every post is whatever. Okay. You really want to have a good balance. You need to have a nice transition into coaching. Nobody wants to see Beachbody on your feed 4 times a day. So planning it out really helped me see, okay, I shared Shakeology on Monday. I might not share it till Thursday midday or something like that, so that there's a good balance of posts between family and your workouts and your Shakeology and what you're eating and a funny meme, whatever it is that you want to share, whatever will gear you towards the audience you're trying to pull in. Okay. Then the other 10 minutes can be friending new people. This is really, really important. I will tell you, when I started, I had about 100 and some odd people on Facebook, because there were so many people that I would see on my mutual friends that I was kind of like, would they even remember me? Would they even know who I was or whatever? And that just came from a place of insecurity of like, nobody's going to remember who the heck I am. But I sucked it up, and I started with people that that I had a lot of mutual friends with. And I would friend them, and then it would show up on other people's news feeds. Jackie Marie Sterling and so-and-so are now friends. And then if both of us had mutual friends, now they're seeing it, and then they started to friend me. I had a friend post a picture of a huge group of us in English class in high school and tagged all of us. And from that one picture that he did, I probably added 6 or 7 new people that I hadn't seen since I was in high school 12 years ago. Yeah, 12 years ago. God, old. So things like that are important, and then there was, quite frankly, there was other people, like some people that I work with, that I was like, they don't need to know my business, but now they need to know my business. Now I want them to know what it is that I'm doing and have them reach out to me and things like that. Okay. So don't be afraid to do that. And also add people on Instagram. Search popular, hashtags: fit mom, boy mom, Nike, whatever. Don't search Beachbody posts. Don't do that, because if they have a Beachbody hashtag, they're either a coach or they already have a coach 99% of the time. So don't waste your time with that. If you're going to follow other coaches, follow top coaches. I mean, top coaches, like, and tell them who those people are. And typically, if they have 20,000 followers, they're a top coach. So that you can get ideas and inspiration. Okay. But adding new people to your network every single day is super, super important. You need to cast as wide of a net as possible to really grow your business. And in the same 10 minutes that you're friending 3 new people, 1, 2, 3, 3 clicks takes 1 minute. You've got 9 minutes now to send 3 hey girl messages and or invites. It's very important that your coaches understand that your first interaction with somebody that you have not talked to in 6 years is not, hey, I'm starting a challenge group. Would you like to join? Like, ew, who, you know what I mean? Like, no. You have to start with building that relationship. Hey, girl, how are you doing? Like, I'm so glad we reconnected on Facebook. Your kids are adorable. What have you been up to? Start that flow. And if they say something like, I see you're doing Beachbody, that's amazing, it may lead into that. It may not. I've had conversations with people that have steered away, like not even asked me what I'm doing because they didn't want to talk about Beachbody, and that's fine. That's not somebody then that you're going to want to approach. Okay. So make sure they know the difference between that. And then 10 minutes to respond to messages in your inbox. Um, and know that if they have 10 minutes set aside to respond to messages in inbox and there are no messages in inbox, I might spend 10 more minutes in here and add more people or send more invites or whatever it is that they need to do. But this is a pretty good breakdown. And if they have enough that they don't need to include their workout, just go 20, 20, 20. Done. Okay. Give them a breakdown of where they should be focused on and on what they should be doing. What is going to be a good use of your time? Most of us, I would venture to say all of us, are busy people. We're not just sitting on our butts at home all day, so we want to make the most use of our time. So make sure they understand that. And you can email this to them. This is also in that same file. I believe that Nicole posted up. If not, I'm still going to post it up under the comments or in the comments under this thread. Okay. 6, log in and navigate the back office. This is important, but just check with them and say, hey, have you done so-and-so? Because this is part of the 21-day training that Nicole has set up. So you don't want to spend a whole lot of time on something they've already done. Talk about the ups and downs, the importance of PD, and developing their why. We all have seasons of highs and lows. I will tell you, my first month, I hit Success Club 14, and I was like, hell yes, this is amazing. This is easy. The next month, I had to, because one of my goals was to hit success starters if it killed me. So I had my stepdad buy a challenge pack, and I paid for my boyfriend's mom, I paid for half of her challenge pack. That was her incentive because I needed the points. My last month, it was literally down. It was October 31st. She was at a Halloween party. And I'm like, girl, you got to do it. And it was like 9:00 at night on the last day of the month that I hit Success Club. November and December, Success Club 4, both times. Right now, I'm sitting at Success Club 4, but I never stop. So they have to understand that there's going to be highs and lows and how to navigate and maneuver that. And that is where that why is very important. In those hard times, it was like, is this worth it? Is this what I want to do? And every single time I would say, yes, I don't want to teach anymore. I'm tired of the politics of teaching. And that is what pushed me through. That why is the foundation for your entire business. Okay. Now, goal setting. These goals are important. And this is where reading your coach is important. Every single coach that I have worked through a Getting Started Right call, we have set very different goals. For one coach, it was simply finish the training, invite 2 people a day. And I think that was it. That was it. Because I could tell that she was overwhelmed, and I didn't want to throw, okay, you're going to go Emerald and you're going to do this and you're going to do that. She was not ready for that. She will get there. But for the time being, this is what I want you to do to start your business. For another coach, it was, okay, you have this goal. This is what you need to do. You need to invite 10 people a day. You need to a really good sense of your coach, what they're ready for, and how hard they're willing, not how hard they're willing to work, but how much they can invest into this right away. Okay, so when is their first challenge group? Do they want a success partner? They're going to need to know what that is. Are they going to do a clean eating group or whatever? What is their first group going to be? Okay, what are their social media goals? This is the posting 2 to 3 times a day. And I'll be real honest with you. I was under the impression that it was 2 to 3 times on Facebook and 2 to 3 times on Instagram. And I lost some friends on Facebook, and I lost quite a bit of followers because nobody needs to see that much of my life. You know what I mean? So 2 to 3 times a day. I for me personally, I do the 4 to 5 across both platforms. It's 2 here, 3 there, or vice versa, or just 2 and 2. If I'm having a really bad day, it's 1 and 1. But I'm always there. I'm always in the newsfeed, and I'm consistent. Okay. And talk to them about no stock photos. Do not do that. Nobody, like, they can go to the Beachbody website and see that they want to see your face. This is important. This is oh gosh, I totally lost her name. But she's a top coach in Beatnik. And so this is an example of a selfie coach. If you are not comfortable taking selfies, you got to be. Get comfy, okay? And show them what a good ad, if you will look like. If you put this up, nobody gives a rip. It's like, oh God, you come off as a salesperson as opposed to look at my beautiful smiling face. I want to help you with these amazing containers. Okay. So show them the difference in that. And I would also recommend that you share with them the apps that we use as a coach. Rona, Pick, Play, Post. Really, those are the 2. Rona, Collage. Those are the 3 that I use the most often. And they're going to ask you, is it worth $1.99 for Rona? Yes. Yes, it is. It's worth it. Buy it because I use it for just about every single post that I do. And share that with them so they're not like, how do you make these beautiful pictures? Here's how. Okay. And share that with them. You can share with them to create your dream team list of 100 challengers and or coaches. This is a good way to have some sort of checklist that they can say, okay, I built the relationship. I invited. I built the relationship. I invited. They said yes. They said no, whatever. And it just kind of gives them a little bit of a roadmap. This is definitely something that they do in all the Push to Emerald groups. Make your dream list of 100 coaches. Who would you love to be on your list or to be on your team? Most of them will say no. Some people are not interested. Some people don't have the time. Some people have misconceptions. Whatever it is. Okay. But it gives you a solid roadmap to go off of. And then start doing your hey girl messages and inviting them. We have, like this one says, provide examples, have them screenshot theirs when they start. This is important too. You want to make sure that their messages are not, or they're doing it the right way. I look back at my messages from July and I'm like, those aren't great, but it's fine. I learn from them. I learn what works, what doesn't work. When I say something a certain way, it comes off as salesy. When I say it this way, I have much more luck. So just showing them what that is. And we in FabFit and in Beatnik Dynasty, their recent files on inviting people and scripts and that kind of thing. Use those. Explain what Success Club is. That's important. And then at the very end, assign them 3 tasks. Say, okay, you're going to do this, this, and this. And make sure that they write them down and that you hold them accountable to those goals every single day. Okay. And then remind them the importance of be here in a year. Now, right as I'm making this call right now, I've been a coach 6-ish months, something like that. And obviously I'm way further in my business than I was in July, but there are other coaches that sign on at the same time as me because I remember seeing their stuff and they're already diamond coaches. So, that comparison game is hard. It's hard for me because I'm extremely competitive and I always want to be better than everybody else. But you can't have that mindset in this business. You have to know, okay, they're doing fantastic and I celebrate and I recognize that because I know when I get there, I would want people to recognize me too. Okay. So, and use it as a motivation instead of like a negative thing for your business. Don't say, oh, I'm just not as good as them. You don't know how many people they knew before. I didn't have a huge network. I don't know a ton of people here in Vegas. So everybody comes in with a different circumstance. Use what you have to your advantage and build from there. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this screen share. I think that's how we do this. Ooh, look at my hair. No, that's not what I want to do. Oh boy. This is why Jackie can't, no, that's not, oh gosh, I think I just did something totally wacky. No, I don't want to do that. Oh, where it says stop share, duh. Sorry guys, still learning. Anyways, so basically your getting started right call is going to be your new coach's roadmap. What are they going to do? Why are they coming into this business? What are the things that they need to know right this second today on day 20 that is going to help them drive their business? There are things we do from day 1 to day 7,000 that are going to be the same. So teach them that right away. What I would recommend to you is, if you are a newer coach and you've never done this before, reach out to your upline, see if they, and I'm sure they will help you do this getting started right call. So for me, because I'm a teacher and this is just the way I operate, I would talk to my coach ahead of time, say, okay, here's what you're going to do. I would sit in on the Zoom meeting. I would watch my coach do it, interject as needed, coach along the way, and kind of let them figure it out themselves. You can't hold your coach's hands, from coach to diamond. At some point you're going to have to take this is your business. You've got to run it like you are the CEO, because guess what? You are the CEO. Okay. So the first couple times, there's nothing wrong with reaching out, but, you've got to start figuring it out on your own. And there's nothing that you can say or like do that's going to ruin this coach's entire journey. If you screw something up, just be like, listen, I screwed up. That's my bad. Learn from my mistake. I have one of those that unfortunately wasn't fixable. It was a placement thing. And I feel awful about it every time I open my genealogy. But anyways, so really focus in on getting your coaches started right. If you need some sort of roadmap, look in the comments below this video. I'll post those couple visuals. And if anything else, think back to when you started. What did Nicole do for you? What did I do for you? Whatever. Wherever you are in your journey, whoever your coach was, how did they get you started? If maybe they didn't do something that you thought would be helpful, do that. Okay. And we're going to kill it, guys. We're going to have so many emeralds on this team that it's going to be crazy. And then all of a sudden we're all going to be diamond and it's going to be like amazing. Okay. But if you sign coaches on and you just hope to God they pick it up and figure it out on themselves, you're never going to reach your goal. They're going to fall off. So really pride yourself on signing quality coaches, and that when they do get started, that they're doing it right. And if you see them, posting a stock photo or whatever it is, there's nothing wrong with sending a message and saying, hey girl, I saw your last post and I really like the wording of your post, but remember next time not to do XYZ, or try this instead. There's nothing wrong with constructive criticism if it's going to continue to build their business. Okay. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them below. And if I hope this video helped you. And if it didn't, sorry. I hope everybody has an amazing Sunday. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.